was all going swimmingly. And then we came to these parts. First of all, let me find the right one. That one, the propellers on one of the rings just started to fall off. And I think that's plastic old age. And then the real... Oh, and then you have... I'll dig the instructions out just to show, but you can imagine there's a spindle or rod that runs from here all the way through, and it runs through a sleeve on the lower section because these are quite deep, and this sort of sleeve was way too thick to fit into the engine cowling, so I've had to trim everything, absolutely everything. And it looked like they were all going to rotate for a while, and I thought, well, you know, it's one of those little bonuses. But no. So there we go. But the real horror is getting the wings in. And let's see if we can get some light on this. Basically, them there slots are lovely, slender little creatures. But those tongues are thick as can be. And although I like these because they give an awful lot of strength, this strut is way too thick to fit into the slot there. They just they have nothing in common. That is going to take a lot of work. I'm going to have to file the holes to make them bigger, and I'm going to have to file down the tongues to make them thinner. And I've got a feeling I'm going to have to cut them because they might be too wide. So I think, got a feeling I'll be slicing the edges down there. That wasn't very good, was it? Slicing off down there. But they're too thick as well. So there's a lot of work to be done all of a sudden. What a shame. That's let it down. Apart from that, like I say, really going very well. But there's a big... Well, there appears to be, this is very visual, probably because it's black, it's showing up. There's a big seam down there. But there isn't a great chasm, not like on the Sterling. And it really did, the fuselage really did fit together very nicely, which I find unusual. So there are many, many positives. Just this bit. Yeah. Well, hey, things are sticking together. It was a tough one. The lads are in. Right, 'twas the night before Christmas and the dishwasher was still going. It's just stopped. And I have got, because we're back in the kitchen you see, I have got every single, there it goes, every single part known to man now attached to this beautiful aircraft. Beautiful, kind of. We'll deal with that later. Anyway, all the parts known to man, apart from the broken propeller blade, can't quite see it, which I think is going to take a lot of work to get back on. But there we are. And I come to you with some of the canopy glue still wet and a little wet brush to clean it up, but I thought I'd give it a moment to solidify. I've got tape on. This isn't the best light, but you know, we work under arduous circumstances. I've got tape on some glazed areas because there might be a bit of spraying to do, but we will see. Could hand paint a couple of bits. Anyway, there it is. What a beauty. And we are in the kitchen, and yes, we've got, because there is mini meltdown in the house, and he is anticipating Father Christmas greatly. So we had to go through all the rituals. Anyway, there it is. Magnificent. We'll see if we can get us somewhere a little bit better lighting. I'm going to have to put some markings on. And this black thing that I saw had almost no markings on. It had the roundels, and it may have had one or two letters. It also had the sort of the bands at the back, but not much else. Trouble is, the markings on this thing are so old. I don't know they're going to cope, but I'll give it a go because I'd like it to be as, you know, use the real stuff where I can. Also because this is a true nostalgia jobby for me, and it's all about rebuilding a model my dad bought me after we'd seen this gloss black version. I'm not going to paint the canopies because as a kid I didn't, because it was too horrible and too hard, and it still is, to be quite honest. But I just want to do the nostalgia thing. But fear not. It is a thought though. If that was the case, if I was really going back to my kid roots, then I'd use a big tube of Humbrol glue to glue the canopies on and fog everything up, wouldn't I? So anyway, there's the masks. I've looked at many reviews. Some people say they work okay on the frog model. Some people niggle. It's alright, we'll find a way through. So they will get done eventually, but just not for maybe a year or so, just so that I can have that hauntology of being transported back in time. The last bits and pieces were the canopy and also the various prongs, spikes and tentacles that stick off this thing. And I suppose there's one last thing to do, as well as the propeller. I am going to glue this onto the stand, because it's a nice stand. Frog did nice stands. So be prepared for that as well, but that will come later too. So more to do, but we've got the model itself done. And when I say spikes, prongs and tentacles, you know what I'm on about, because you don't really expect the Haynes manual version when you come to this channel, do you? So, and there's a weird patch. Did you see that? That's not a fingerprint. This has got something like 7 layers of gloss paint on it, and that keeps coming through. It's a ghost. We'll call it that. The print of the previous owner. And yep, let's get this lit a bit better and have a good look. Whoa, it's looking mean. As usual, don't look too closely. There are some wobbly bits. We've all got wobbly bits, haven't we? We all know that feeling. Anyway, what a surprisingly good model. I have never held Frog in the highest esteem, and I think I'm wrong. At last I realise I'm wrong. It's got as many issues as your standard Airfix kit from the same era, and less issues than a lot of other people's models even today. So we should say well done, Frog. So good stuff. There are little bits and pieces that aren't perfect. In the end, I mentioned probably in a previous film, just along the centre line, as always, there's a little ridge, but as it gets towards this end, it actually gets just a little bit awkward, and just a gap is showing there. Apart from that, splendid. Splendid indeed. All the parts that I know of are on, as I said, and I am well pleased with that. Happy Christmas me. Happy Christmas everybody else who likes the Frog model, a shiny black model and a Shackleton. This has been a really rewarding experience, so hats off to them. As I say, we've not come to the end. obviously, but I'll work on it, and I'll keep looking on the internet to see if I can find an example of a completely gloss black, fabulously glazed Shackleton. So, thanks for watching. Happy Christmas, everybody. It is about 11:30, just before Christmas Day. So obviously Christmas Eve is what I'm trying to say. And I'll tidy this away, and I'm going to have half a date, and I think it's walnut loaf, and with some marvellously smoked cheese, Austrian smoked cheese, and a pint of strong beer, and watch a ghost story on the telly. Talking Pictures TV are rerunning the old BBC Ghost Story at Christmas, and the BBC have done a new one, which is recording as we speak, I believe. So, lots to look forward to. But, yeah, time to have a bit of bread and cheese. Fine old way to see in Christmas. Thanks for watching, have a great time, and see you after the chaos.